The other day, I walked onto the bus, and I was the only person on the bus. I'm sorry, I wasn't the only person. There was one other person on the bus. A very beautiful young lady. Absolutely. I walked down and oh my God. I sat down, she was sitting on the right side of the bus, and I sat down on the left side, and I was trying to be cool and not draw my attention, or draw the attention to her that I was staring at her. And I sat down, I opened my bag, I pulled out my book, I started reading, and I noticed out the corner of my eye, I noticed she was looking at me. I was like, So I pretended to be cool, and I heard her say, "Chuju." I looked. She said, "Chuju." I looked, I said, I started to think to myself, maybe she wants to kiss me and she wants me to choose something. And I looked at her and said, okay. She got kind of mad and she said, "Chuju, chuju." She pointed down and my shoelace was untied. Chuju, shuju, shoes, 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 I said to her. I said, "Thank you very much." Chuju, shuju. Yeah, you got it? Okay, good. Ladies and gentlemen, that little story illustrates my topic tonight. It illustrates the act of making sense. The act of making sense. When we speak to another person, we must make sure that we make sense. Let me repeat that. When we speak to another person, we must make sure we make sense. Now, to most of you, that probably seems pretty obvious. Duh, Michael, of course, we all need to make sense. But the fact is that making sense is not obvious in communication. Take a look around. Look at arguments that happen in law courts. Look at the newspaper and the fights that happen on Capitol Hill, on the Capitol building in Yoido. Okay? The fact is, look at relationships between men and women. The fact is, when we speak, very often we do not make sense. We do not take the time to learn and focus on the act of making sense. We must make sure that we make sense when we speak to another person. Okay? Why? Why is it important to focus on the act of making sense when we communicate? I think there are three reasons. The first reason is that when we speak, when we talk to another person, when we decide that at this moment I'm going to talk to a group of people in Toastmasters, for example, I have a purpose. I have something I want to say. My need is to meet my goal. The woman on the bus, I can only guess at her need. Maybe she did think I was cute. She had the need that she wanted to help me. Maybe. She looked at my shoe, she said, "Danger!" And she thought, I need to help this man. And so she tried her best to communicate to me. But in the first couple of words, she failed. Now I know it's an English-Korean thing, but still, if she would have said, "Shoes," I probably would have looked at her like she was crazy. "Choose" would just happen to work. She had a need that she wanted to meet, to get met. It is her responsibility to make sure she makes sense when she says that, which is what she did when she pointed and said, "Chuju." I understood her. We made a connection. Our minds met. Her goal was completed. Now, every time we do get our goals met, let's say we're in an office and we're asking for a raise and we're saying to our boss, "Boss, I really want money, more money." Okay, that's pretty clear. But we're saying to our boss that we want more money. If we're not clear, if we're not making sure that we make sense when we make that act, sometimes our needs don't get met, and that doesn't feel very good. Getting our needs met feels good. So we must make sure that we make sense. Second reason Making sense is the mark of maturity for a speaker. It is the mark, the symbol, the sign of maturity for a speaker. It is the mark of a mature speaker. Let me explain what that means. Mature speakers are no longer babies. When we were babies, we used to look up at our mom and go, and mom would try to figure out, what do you want? What do you want? Water? Water? No, I don't want water. Cigarette? You want something? Okay? The point is, we're mature people are no longer babies. We can no longer assume that other people are going to understand us. We need to take responsibility for making sense when we communicate. It's a very important thing to consider. On the bus, that woman was communicating to me. I was thinking, as her audience member, I was thinking, she wants to kiss me. She was thinking, I need to help you. Two minds, different thoughts. In order to make her point made, in order to make sense, she needed to make sure and do just that. She needed to take physical action and point at my shoes in order for me and her to understand each other. As speakers, we need to do that as well. The third reason that we need to make sense, that we need to make sure we make sense, is because as a speaker, as a communicator, we are creating an event. In the minds of our audience, we are creating a whole new reality. Okay? This is very philosophical. I won't spend too much time on it. Ultimately, we are making a remarkable event in the minds of an audience. We're trying to create reality. And in order to do that effectively, in order to do that in a way that helps people to understand us, that helps us to ultimately make great goals, make great things happen, we need to realize that we are making an event every time we speak. So for example, if we come in here to Toastmasters and we speak and we don't know what we really want to say, the audience members are like, what does this mean? I don't know. Okay? Maybe not totally, but the point is, if we want to, it is our job to make the audience understand the importance of what we are saying. Okay? Ladies and gentlemen, I'm out of time. We must make sure that we make sense every time we talk to another person. It is important because communication, goals, etc. is very important. So I thank you, Toastmaster. I turn it back over to you. Thank you.